The greatest deception of the human mind is the belief that success is a gift from fate, when in reality, it is a debt paid only to those who first learn the art of giving. In a windswept coastal station where the salt air clung to the rusted tracks, lived a man named Kalen. Kalen spent every waking hour sitting on a tattered burlap sack, watching the world go by in a blur of expensive leather shoes and rolling suitcases. His existence was defined by a single gesture of his hand reaching out for the spare change of strangers. He believed that the world owed him a living because he had nothing, and in his mind, having nothing meant he could only receive. One afternoon, a silver train pulled into the station with a hiss of steam, and out stepped a man who radiated an aura of quiet power. This was Master Elian, a merchant known for his vast trade empires and a gaze that seemed to see through the very soul of anyone he met. Kalen saw the fine silk of Elian's coat and the polished gleam of his mahogany cane and thought to himself that surely this man would be the one to change his fortune for the day. He scrambled to his feet and approached Elian with the same hollow plea he had used 1,000 times before. But instead of reaching for his wallet, Master Elian stopped and looked Kalen directly in the eyes. His voice was not cold, but it held the weight of a fundamental truth. He asked Kalen if he always just took from the world, or if he had ever considered giving something back. Kalen was stunned because no one had ever challenged the logic of his poverty before. He stammered that he was just a beggar with empty pockets and nothing to offer anyone. Master Elian smiled a small and knowing smile. He told Kalen that if he believed he had nothing to give, then he had no moral right to ask for anything in return. He explained that the universe operates on a system of exchange, and that he was a trader who only dealt in mutual value. He said that unless Kalen could find something to offer, he would receive nothing from him. Kalen could not stop the businessman's words from echoing in his mind like a rhythmic drumbeat. He realized that his greatness or his failure was not determined by his luck, but by the very thoughts he allowed to take root in his heart. He began to understand that people never gave him much because he never offered them anything to justify the transaction. Seemed to have everything. On the third morning, while he was sitting near the edge of the tracks, he noticed a patch of wild sea lavender and bright yellow marigolds growing in the cracks of the stone. Their colors were vibrant against the gray concrete, and a sudden spark of inspiration hit him. He realized that while he had no money, he had hands, and he had the beauty of the earth around him. He carefully plucked a handful of the flowers and waited for the next train to arrive. When a passenger dropped a copper coin into his palm, Kalen did not just nod and turn away. He reached out and offered a stem of the wild flowers with a genuine smile. The passenger looked surprised, but then their face softened into a look of pure joy as they accepted the gift. Kalen felt a warmth in his chest that he had never known before. He realized that the act of giving had changed the energy of the encounter. As the weeks passed, Kalen became a fixture at the station, not as a beggar, but as the man with the flowers. He noticed a clear pattern in the way the world treated him. As long as he had flowers to give, the people gave to him with an open heart and a generous spirit. But if he ran out of flowers and tried to beg with an empty hand, the donations would dwindle to almost nothing. He was learning the secret of success through the simple medium of a flower. One day, Master Elian returned to the station on his regular trade route. Kalen saw him from a distance and rushed over with his best bunch of sea lavender. He told the merchant that today he had something to offer in exchange for his support. Master Elian laughed with a deep sense of pride and handed Kalen a gold coin while taking the flowers. He told Kalen that from that moment on he was no longer a beggar, but a fellow businessman who understood the true value of trade. Those words were the final key that unlocked Kalen's potential. He realized that the world was not a place of charity, but a marketplace of value. A real business. He stopped seeing himself as a victim of fate and started seeing himself as a creator of opportunity. 6 months later, 2 well-dressed men met at that same station. One was Master Elian, and the other was a man in a sharp linen suit who carried himself with the confidence of a leader. Alian did not recognize him at first, until the man smiled and reminded him of the beggar who once had nothing to give. Kalin told him that he now ran the most successful floral export business in the region. He explained that the merchant had taught him the greatest truth of all, which is that we only receive when we first learn to give. Kalin had changed his mindset, and in doing so, he had completely rewritten the story of his life. He stood there as an equal to the man who had once challenged him to be more than just a taker. The story of Kalin proves that when your thoughts change, your entire world follows suit, and the seeds of greatness can grow even in the cracks of a lonely railway track.